Hello, good afternoon. This is TV Sapienta News Hour. On the news is Oluchi Ojo-Bamidele. The news headlines. Anambra State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Ife Obinabo, has called on women to be more agents of positive change wherever they find themselves. Kyiv said it has received back the bodies of hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers killed during the battles with Russia. And a deal to broadcast the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) on national radio has been reached with the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria (FRC) and following a memorandum of understanding signed by the two organizations in Abuja. The full details of the news. Anambra State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Ife Obinabo, has called on women to be agents of positive change wherever they find themselves. Speaking on the significance of the 2025 Modern Sunday, which is being celebrated by some church denominations, Commissioner Obinabo expressed concern over the rising rate of social vices in society. She urged mothers to take an active role in shaping a better future for instilling strong moral values in their children. According to her, this will help guide the younger generation towards the right path. On behalf of the governor's wife, Dr. Noye Soludo, the commissioner extended warm wishes to all Anambra women on this special occasion. She also lamented the increasing rate of divorce in society, attributing it to a lack of knowledge of God. Obinabo reminded mothers of the importance of educating and supporting their children, particularly the girl child, to help them build strong and decent families. She encouraged women to take their roles seriously in nurturing a morally upright society for a better future. A leading contender in the race of the upcoming governorship election in Anambra State, Mr. Valentine Ozigbo, has called on delegates of the All Progressives Congress (APC) to prioritize personality and character in choosing the right candidate to fly the party's flag as they prepare for the party's primary elections on Saturday, 5th April 2025. Addressing APC stakeholders in Anambra North Senatorial District at a town hall meeting held at All Saints Cathedral, Nisha, yesterday, Mr. Valentine Ozigbo lamented the level of systemic corruption and insecurity in Anambra State and said the time has come to liberate the people of the state from the shackles of poverty and for the All Progressives Congress (APC) to sack Governor Chukwuma Soludo and its All Progressives Grand Alliance (APGA)-led administration. Mr. Ozigbo said he is the only candidate that has what it takes for the APC to unseat Soludo and end the era of bad governance and insecurity that has plagued Anambra State for a very long time now. He called for the support and vote of all the APC delegates in the party's primary elections coming up on Saturday, 5th April. Speaking earlier, some APC stakeholders in Anambra North Senatorial District, including Tony Ofia, Chike Nwiwu, some zonal leaders, local government chairmen, secretaries, and other officials, described Mr. Valentine Ozigbo as a very honest, humble, intelligent, compassionate person and the only APC flag bearer capable of winning the Anambra State governorship election in November 2025. They called on the delegates to cast their votes for Mr. Ozigbo to enable him fly the APC flag in the election. All Progressive Congress members in the 99 wards in Anambra North Senatorial District attended the stakeholders meeting with Mr. Valentine Ozigbo, including the 7 local government chairmen, secretaries and ward leaders and other officials. Also in attendance were a former House of Representatives member, Honorable Cyril Egwato, former PDP State Chairman Ejike Ogwebego, and several other APC stalwarts in Anambra State. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Felix Moka, as the board chairman of the Nigerian Television Authority (NTA). The president also appointed 20 APC chairmen and some National Working Committee members as board chairmen of various federal government institutions. Tinubu further picked Honorable Fatuhu Buhari, a Katsina State indigene, as the Director General of the National Agriculture Seed Council. The Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, disclosed the appointment in a statement on Friday. The sole administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, has charged paramilitary agencies to increase patrols in order to avert crime in the state. Airbus hinted on a collaboration among various security agencies in the state to keep the state safer and peaceful, saying there could not be any meaningful development without a thriving, peaceful environment. The sole administrator gave the charge when he met with heads of paramilitary organizations at the government house in Port Harcourt on Friday. He said it is necessary to meet them as critical stakeholders in the fight against crime and acknowledge their contribution to ensuring a peaceful river state, urging them to participate effectively in joint operations that are geared towards degrading the capabilities of criminal elements within the state. In Edo State, police authorities have arrested 14 suspects over the killing of travelers said to be hunters in the state. The victims were gruesomely murdered by a mob in the Uromi area of Edo State on the suspicion of being criminals. The Edo State Police Command said the victims were 16 in number, and the spokesman of the command, Moses Yamu, said some persons had been arrested in connection with the attack. The police command said the incident occurred when a truck with registration number KKF 225XA coming from Port Harcourt conveying 25 travelers from Elele, a suburb of River State, was accosted by some vigilante group members at Uromi, and some of the travelers who found in possession of locally made den guns was arrested. Yamu said a unit of police mobile force personnel with other command tactical teams had been deployed to the area to forestall a breakdown of law and order, noting that investigations are ongoing over the incident and cautioned against any form of reprisal attack. No fewer than 34 residents of Kano State or Sokoto State are currently receiving treatment at a specialist hospital following an outbreak of heavy metal poisoning in the state. The victims, who are farmers from Tureta local government area of the state, have been hospitalized for over a week. The government stated that they assured the residents the government is working to contain the outbreak, which has drawn the attention of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control. Speaking at a press briefing yesterday, the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Farouk Uno, disclosed that additional cases had been reported in multiple local government areas, with some patients receiving palliative treatment at general hospitals. He assured that a high-level stakeholders meeting has been convened to strategize on effective case management and containment measures. While concerns have been raised about possible links to illegal mining activities, Uno emphasized that regulatory measures will be only implemented once conclusive evidence is obtained. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) has called on the federal government to complement its economic stabilization and growth initiative with measures that safeguard the nation's most vulnerable citizens. To ease the suffering of the poorest citizen, the MIF asked the federal government to expedite the completion of its cash transfer program to support the vulnerable households. Speaking, the director of the IMF's Communications Department, Julie Kozak, said the cash transfer is a crucial priority in the face of ongoing economic reforms. Kozak, who made a call recently during a press briefing, confirmed that the IMF's first deputy managing director, Gita Gopinath, has visited Nigeria earlier in March and met with key officials, including the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, and the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Yemi Cardoso, on the way forward. She added that IMF staff would return to Nigeria next week in preparation for the 2025 Article 4 consultation, a periodic assessment of the country's economic and financial policies, adding that further updates on Nigeria's are expected after the team concludes its missions. The Southwest Zone of the National Association of University Students have called on the federal government to reverse the hike in telecommunications tariffs. The university student body said the country would witness the mobilization of learners against the hike if the government and other stakeholders fails to address the issue. Other pressing issues that the association asked the government to address include rising insecurity on campuses, epileptic power supply, and incessant strikes, among others. The students made this demand known in a press conference held in Lagos State recently. In a statement signed by the association's National Vice President Tamiyu Olayinka, the reversal of increased telecommunications tariff is crucial as students depend on affordable internet access to learn in this digital age. He called on relevant authorities to act swiftly and responsibly to address pressing concerns, as failures to meet up with their demands will leave them with no choice than to mobilize students across Southwest and take a bold step to defend their rights and secure a better academic environment for all. The Nigerian Red Cross Society has supported 5,000 victims affected by the 2024 flood disaster in Oyo, Malamodiri, and Kirika-Sama local government areas of Jigawa State. Speaking at the cash distribution of the victims held at the Auto Local Government Secretariat, the president of the Nigerian Red Cross Society, Oluchi Ojo-Bamidele, said the organizations would distribute a total of 304 million naira. Adaga said the Red Cross registered 5,000 families in the state, with 3,000 families receiving agricultural assistance worth 150 million naira to enhance their farm yields. He stressed that the support went beyond just distributing aid, stating that they are not just distributing aid but distributing dignity. He highlighted the organization's commitment to reaching the most vulnerable members of the society, including widows, people living with disabilities, and displaced families. In her remarks, Zubaida Umaru, the Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, noted that the gesture reflects the federal government's unwavering commitment to providing relief to communities impacted by flood disaster. Still on the news, Kenyan government says it is sending former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to South Sudan as a special envoy to help ease the crisis between President Salva Kiir and long-time rival First Vice President Riek Machar, which threatens to drag the country back to war. Kenyan President William Ruto, who chairs the East African Community Bloc, said he had spoken to Kiir about the detention of Machar earlier this week and is sending a special envoy to help de-escalate the situation and report back. Odinga's spokesperson Dennis Oyango confirmed the former Prime Minister has traveled to Juba on Friday. Machar's spokesperson Pok Bolang said Odinga's appointment is a welcome gesture as long as it is in line with de-escalation of the situation. Machar's party also issued a statement urging all involved parties to resume dialogue, saying it is committed to staying in the unity government. The South Sudan Machar was put under house arrest in the capital Juba on Wednesday night, his party said, in effect voiding a 2018 peace deal that ended a 5-year civil war. Still on the foreign scene, Kyiv said it has received back the bodies of hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers killed during battles with Russia. The exchange of prisoners and return of their remains is one of the few areas of cooperation between Moscow and Kyiv since the Kremlin mobilized its army in Ukraine in February 2022. The repatriation announced on Friday is the largest of the war and underscores the high cost and intensity of the fighting. The coordination headquarters for the treatment of prisoners of war, a government agency, confirmed in a statement on social media that bodies of 909 fallen defenders were returned to Ukraine. They expressed gratitude for the assistance of the International Committee of the Red Cross, saying that some of the bodies were returned from morgues on the territory of the Russian Federation. Yesterday's repatriation is at least the 7th involving 500 and more Ukrainian bodies since last October. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said that more than 46,000 troops have been killed and more than 380,000 people wounded in the country. Now to the world of sports, the Confederation African de Football (CAF) have awarded the Egyptian Football Association and the Egyptian government the right to host the 2025 CAF Under-20 African Cup of Nations (AFCON). This is because CAF have been informed by the Federation Ivoirien de Football and the government of Cote d'Ivoire that due to unforeseen circumstances, they are unable to host the Under-20 African Cup of Nations. This year, the Egyptian Football Association and the Egyptian government had previously submitted a bid to host the CAF Under-20 Cup of Nations 2025. The opening of the match of the tournament will be played on Sunday, 27th of April 2025, and the final set to take place on the 18th of May 2025. A deal to broadcast the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) on national radio has been reached with the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria (FRCN) following a memorandum of understanding signed by the two organizations in Abuja. Stakeholders believe will enhance the coverage and promotion of domestic football across the country, and will see FRCN provide live match commentary, analysis, and exclusive interviews with players, coaches, and league officials. Speaking at the event, NPFL chairman Honorable Buenga Eleboeleye described the partnership as another landmark partnership for league football in the country. He said the collaboration is expected to boost the league's popularity, attract sponsorship, and enhance fan engagement, ultimately contributing to the growth of professional football in Nigeria. In his remarks, the Director General of the FRCN, Mohammed Bulama, reaffirmed the corporation's dedication to reviving football enthusiasm in Nigeria. And to bring the news to an end, a recap of our headlines. Anambra State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Ifi Obinabo, has called on women to be agents of positive change wherever they find themselves. And Kyiv said it has received back the bodies of hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers killed during the battles with Russia. And a deal to broadcast the Nigerian Premier Football League on national radio has been reached with the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria following a memorandum of understanding signed by the two organizations in Abuja. And that was the TV Sapientia News Hour. On behalf of the technical and editorial crew, I am Oluchi Ojo-Bamidele. Thank you for being here with us on TV Sapientia. Bye for now.